Hello everybody and welcome to the 6th episode of Otaku Gathering. You might notice we missed last week, that's because I'm lazy and I couldn't be bothered to do it. With me today I have Temeth. Want to say hello, Temeth?
Sup, guys?
And I'm the Deadly Tikka, you used to seeing the both of us because we never have any hosts. So, let's move straight on to what we've been watching or reading this week. And do you want to start?
Watching a bit of Cloud After Story, Naruto, the necessary Naruto episode, and that's pretty much it. And the big three manga-wise.
Yeah, so you have been watching Cloud After Story. How far did you get into it?
I'm only a couple of episodes in. I've already completed it once, but...
Oh, what, you've already watched After Story?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
we did
that.
say so the other week.
Shut up. I don't remember things too well. So Clanad and right, this all ties straight into what I want to talk about Naruto, and it's how I can enjoy an episode of Naruto regardless of what happens in it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's hard to explain. So with most shows, I can point out all of the things I hate about it. But I watch an episode of Naruto and they could talk the whole way through it and I'll be sat there like, enjoying every second of this. And
Yeah.
I don't know why. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Clanad are pretty much the only ones that I can do that with, where I could watch it over and over and over again. And even the things I know suck in it, I enjoy anyway.
Yeah. It's one of those shows. I really like Clanad. I really like Naruto as well. And I can see the faults with Naruto, don't get me wrong. There are some many faults in Naruto's storytelling, and Kishimoto at the moment is pissing me off, which we'll come on to in a minute. But it's going to be the way it is. If you can really enjoy a show, it doesn't matter. It's the same as I get really annoyed with people that turn around and go, oh, you watch Naruto, obviously you're a scumbag.
Yeah. Somebody the other day, So, weirdly enough, I never used to get people message me on Mal, but recently I've been getting it quite a lot. People sending me messages and stuff. And saying, oh, you watch this, that you're not a real anime fan. It's like, well, it's watching anime. Doesn't that make me a fan in general? Like, isn't that the only point? And they commented that I watched Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. They were like, oh, you watch all of the big three? You have to be a fan of one of them. I was like, no, I could be a fan of all of them if I want to.
What's wrong with being a fan of all of it?
I don't know. I was so confused by getting that message. I was like, surely me watching all of them's just as good as me watching one of them. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, Bleach is my least favourite out of all of them. Just because I feel like there's no point to the story at all.
It's so bad.
Like, so... With, like, Naruto, you look at the start of it, he instantly puts out, this is what I want to do. I want to become Hokage. So the whole idea is him progressing along the story, getting to become Hokage.
Yeah.
You look at One Piece, his instant dream is to become the king of the pirates and find the One Piece. So his whole story is him progressing towards that. You look at Bleach and his mission is to look after people.
It wasn't even that at the beginning. We don't know the story.
At the beginning, he didn't even want to be a Shinigami. He literally was... It was thrown upon him, and then he was like, I kind of like having lots of powers, so I'll just kind of be like this. That's why I don't think I can get into Bleach as much, because it feels more... It doesn't feel as well made. I don't know why. Like, I was thinking the other day how Naruto is one of the most... If you strip away the filler, so take the filler out, it's one of the most well-crafted stories and character progression of any anime I've watched. And this is coming from somebody that picks out the flaws in really good shows. Like, Mirai Nikki, right, is probably your favourite show.
Yeah.
I pick out the flaws in that show just because I feel like I have to. Even Clanad, I will sit there and say the first 6 episodes of Clanad After Story were weak compared to the rest of the series. Because there's no progression on anything. It's kind of just fun stuff happening. But it plays into the second half. The transition, basically. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like... So this week's episode of Naruto was a perfect example of what I'm saying, where it wasn't a great episode. Like, it was okay. There were some cool parts that happened, but I couldn't not enjoy it and literally want to cry while watching it.
Yeah. It. My problem is with those kind of shows. I like something that goes, right, here is the main goal. Let's go on this journey to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
The story is the progression from there to there. Like, that's the story. And then everything else in between is to make the story make sense. Like, if it, I don't think you've watched Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo, have you?
No.
So they're two stories where you're never. It's not the show isn't the story, if that makes sense. The whole point of the story is the characters and watching the characters do what they do.
Genshiken kind of did that as well.
Yeah. But the thing with Genshiken is there's not really much of an overarching story, if that makes sense. With Samurai Champloo, their whole goal is to go find the samurai who smells the sunflowers. And what happens? Yeah, I know it's a stupid goal, but it makes sense when you watch the show. But the thing is, every episode is a new story, if that makes sense. So they are on their journey. They come to a problem. They solve the problem, usually by beating everyone up, and then the episode ends. The next episode starts and goes the exact same way. And you might look at it and say, well, they've not progressed from one place to the other, but they have, because they've been moving from town to town, finding out information in each one. It's never directly told you, okay, we're moving forward in the story, if that makes sense.
It's one of those things. I mean, you look at... In a way, Naruto does it as well. As much as... Yeah, we want Naruto to become Hokage, but there's all the story behind it in which you have... His storyline is kind of split up. Unlike Luffy's. Luffy's goal is, I'm going to be king of the pirates, end of.
Yeah. And it's...
Naruto, it's, I'm going to become Hokage, but I'm going to have to sort out getting through the tuning exams.
Yeah.
Tuning exams to being able to get Sasuke back. Sasuke back to helping Gaara get out. Then sorting out the Akatsuki. Then sorting out Pain. Then Madara.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's broken up, but it all comes together and makes the awesome story. And the character development, I have to say, Naruto is one of the most developed characters. And that's why 600, 700 episode shows work in a way, because you can develop a character over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Imagine if the story of Naruto was told in like 50 episodes. You would have to rush through so much.
It's so difficult. Like, I will get onto my issues with Naruto in a minute.
Yeah. So you've not been really watching or reading much. I have not been watching much, so I think I'll start off with what I've been watching. I've been watching Gasaraki, which is a mech series from 1998, so it's old. How old does that make it? Like 15 years? Bit more than that. It's like 16, 17 years.
Not an issue with that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it looks old. So I bought it because it was cheap. That's like the main reason I bought it. I got it for like 15 quid and it's 20 odd episodes. And I've never watched a mech series other than Gurren Lagann, which is fucking amazing. And I was like, okay, I'll watch another mech series. This was made by like just a cast of the top mecha creators. It was produced by Sunrise. They do all of Gundam. Well, all the good stuff of Gundam. The voice actors, you got like Monica Rial. All of these different great voice actors for the dub I'm talking about. But, right, so imagine a show where the main character is 1010. The main character is so bad. The main character.
Just give me Ebola.
The main character's so bad in this series. Like, I'll show you the main character. That's him there.
Yeah.
And he's so pathetic. Have you ever played any of the Final Fantasy games?
as much as it pains me to say yes,
Yeah. So
and only for a little bit because it's crap.
other games like Zelda, any game where your character doesn't talk, that's what this main character's like. He never interacts with anyone, and when he does, it's so straightforward and emotionless that it just you can't get attached to this character, and you're supposed to, and it makes the show weak. Not only that, the animation's really stiff. So if you pause it and look at it, it looks nice, but the movement of the robots looks shit. So like the robot will go from walking forward to turning sideways, but it won't actually turn. It will literally just go from here to there in a frame. And it looks really bad. And it's a mecha, and I don't really enjoy mecha series. So, but one thing I will say is I'm glad I bought it, because if I had watched it online, which you can watch it on YouTube legally and
You
free.
wouldn't have bought it.
If I hadn't bought it, I would have stopped watching it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But because I've bought it, I feel like it's my job to watch it. So at the moment, I'm 4 DVDs in, so I'm up to there. I have 4 left to go. I don't know. It's good material to make me go to sleep. Every time I watch it, I fall asleep.
No.
So that's one thing that I've been watching, Gasarakai. I don't recommend it, really. If I was going to recommend a mech series, I would obviously recommend Gundam. Not Gundam, sorry. Sengotoba Gurren Lagann. Or, in fact, I would recommend Gundam because it's like legendary. Everyone knows of Gundam.
I've watched Gundam, and Gundam's amazing.
I watched it as a kid, but I've never watched it when I was old enough to realise that it was anime, if that makes sense. Yeah. I remember,
same for me.
Yeah, I remember one really cool character. He was like gold and he had a big sword, and I had a toy of him. I used to collect like anime toys. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to collect anime toys.
There were in my childhood, Gundam figurines were so easy to come across.
Yeah, you'd see them in Tesco's. Tesco's is a big shop here in the UK.
Yeah, it's like the Walmart.
Yeah, well, Asda is owned by Walmart, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what company Tesco owns in America. They actually own a company out in America.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know.
It's like Walmart's.
Probably Target or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but anyway, nowadays you can't actually see that many Gundam figurines.
No, you can if you go to certain stores, but you wouldn't find them in like Toys R Us.
Yeah, which is the thing. Which actually, thank you for that. On about Toys R Us, did you hear about the story of Toys R Us in America?
What, they were selling Breaking Bad toys?
Yeah, did you see what actually was inside the Breaking Bad?
It had like a little tray of plastic meth. I thought that was hilarious. But they were being sold in the adult section, so no kids are supposed to go there.
This is the thing. In America, Toys R Us does actually have like an adult section.
Yeah.
Well, if you look over in the UK, we don't.
No.
It's Toys R Us child section, or Toys R Us, and then there's Babies R Us, I think.
Yeah. So there's Toys R Us and there's Toys R Us Kids, which is like the really kiddie one, which they sell like walkers that have toys on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a Babies R Us as well. They sell baby clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was really cool, and I don't see why everyone's having a go at it. It's in the adult section. It's in the adult section.
Yeah.
The child shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, it was funny because some woman complained about it. She was like, "Oh, you can't sell this, blah blah blah," and Bryan Cranston himself replied and was like, "It's in the adult section. You're a moron. Shut up." That's literally like how his reply went. I was like, "What a legend!" But
non-anime related, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's something that everyone enjoys. It's part of the collectible section of being an otaku.
Yeah, I've never collected any figurines or anything, just because I don't want to. I don't know why. I wouldn't look at them and be like, yeah, I've got figurines, but
it doesn't really matter. I've had figurines. I've got rid of most of my figurines now.
Yeah, I can understand why people want to collect them. I can understand why anybody would collect anything, because I like collecting books and I like collecting DVDs.
Well, I mean, I have 2 Lord of the Rings figures.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings are cool as fuck. That's why.
No, they're still in their boxes. They haven't been removed from the box.
Yeah, well, that's how they
And
are worth the most.
they will. They've been there since Fellowship of the Ring is when I got them, and they will never be taken out of the box, and they will eventually be sold.
Lord of the Rings was like my childhood. So I was Dragon Ball Z and Lord of the Rings were the two things that I was like. They were my childhood, pretty much.
See, for me, it was Pokemon / Yu-Gi-Oh, and
Yeah,
then
I watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never got into them as much as I did Dragon Ball Z.
I know Pokemon was the major thing for me. I played the games.
Oh, I played the
That
games.
is,
Everyone played the games at school.
yeah. If you have not played Pokemon, then your childhood was not a childhood.
So I remember somebody said to me, they were in my class when I was back in college. We were all playing Pokemon when we had finished our course because we had the emulators on our computer or on my phone, for example. So we were all playing in class because we had all finished apart from like 4 people. And somebody come along and was like, "What are you playing? Pokemon?" They were like, "Oh, so childish." I was like, "It's like one of the best games of all time. It's like you can't
It's
fault
a classic.
Pokemon." Could you imagine if they changed the formula to Pokemon though? Like instead of clicking a button and doing an attack, you actually could control them and make them fight as if it was like a fighting game.
You could. There was Pokemon Arena, I think it was.
Yeah, you had Pokemon Stadium, but it was
Yeah.
just basically Pokemon like on DS or whatever, but better graphics and it looked a lot better. Like the fights looked a lot better. But
No, because there was Colosseum. That was the one. It was Colosseum, and Colosseum was like a fighting game.
I don't know. I had one on GameCube and it was actually really fun, but it was hard because you couldn't play it really well.
Yeah, it was Colosseum.
Yeah, you know how Pokemon, you go and you collect the Pokemon and stuff. The story mode wasn't like that. You just kind of went through battle after battle after battle. It was really weird. But so yeah, I've been watching Gasaraka over there, and I've been reading the shit out of Bakuman. Right? It was created by the same people as Death Note. I know you're not a fan of Death Note, but it was created by the people who created the manga Death Note.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. It's so good. I bought it because I could get it cheap. I bought it for 70 quid for 20 volumes. You can't see them because they're all over there. I'm on the 10th volume right now. As you can see there. It's so good. It's all about 2 guys. So you got Takagi, who's the one my finger's on, and you got Mashiro there.
Yeah.
Mashiro's the dark-haired one. He draws the manga. Takagi's the light-haired one. He writes the stories of the manga, which is basically how the creators of Death Note worked. You had one guy who drew it, one guy who wrote the stories. So it's not really like a bibliography of their life because they constantly reference to shows like Death Note, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the first 2 volumes, they're like, "I wish we could be as good as the guys who created Death Note," and it's like a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tombstone pile driver through a table to let you know that
An RKO at the end.
Yeah, out of nowhere. But it's like it's a really good series, and I would recommend you to read it sometime. Although I don't know, it's nothing like Death Note, if that makes sense.
I might have to read it then.
It's really, really, really good. Carry on.
I was just going to say, there's a few things that I wanted to speak about on the manga front. I found apparently Fairy Tail Zero is a thing.
I don't know. It might have been a one shot they made or something.
No, they've got like 4 manga of Fairy Tail Zero, and it's not Fairy Tail.
Well,
it's Fairy Tail. It's Fairy Tail's characters, but
okay.
it's on a completely different thing. I saw it on Manga Panda actually today.
I'm not
Because
even
Big
sure.
3 came out today.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fairy Tail Zero. I'm not sure what they are.
No idea what it's about. So it may be something to read up on and come back to you with some more information about that.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll have to check up on that. I think it was some one shots they made. So a lot of series, as is talked about in this show, one thing that's really good about this manga is it gives you an insight into how the manga industry works.
Yeah.
Like the editorial department, how it's all split up, how the reader surveys work in Jump. I really want to buy some volumes of Jump because it sounds cool, but they're really hard to get your hands on.
Jump. You can order them, like you can get Jump sent to you.
Can you get it sent to you in the UK though?
I think so.
Because I honestly would, if it's a decent amount, I'd get it.
Depends on also what the quality is like.
They look really nice, but
do you want to talk about Bakuman and then I can go into the big three for this week?
Yeah, or we can jump on. Yeah, you go on then. Yeah, so Bakuman. Basically, it's a show about two people creating manga, and there's a really good romance in it between Mashiro and Azuki, the main female heroine of the show, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
And one thing I really like about the romance between them is they declare their love for each other early on, if that makes sense. It's not like how most manga or anime work, where they both like each other, but they never tell each other. Makes sense? They tell each other straight away, and then the idea is they both they say they love each other, they both go their separate ways, and they'll come back together when they're successful and get married. And it's a really cool and cute romance the way it works. And it's it's really delicately looked after. Like, when they finally do meet with each other, they're so nervous to talk to each other, but they actually bond really well, but they constantly are like, no, we can't see each other until we're successful. I really like the way it's handled. It's written really well.
I'll have a read of it and give you my opinion on it at some point.
Definitely. I'm on volume 10 and I've only had it a couple of days, so, well, about a week.
So yeah, definitely I'll get back onto that and I'll have a read of it. Right, shall I move on to
talking about the big freeze volumes or chapters?
Okay, Naruto. We're on 697 now.
Couldn't tell you. I think it is 697 though.
Which means we only have 3 more mangas left
until the temporary ending, because they're supposed to be releasing something afterwards, which we should talk about as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So Naruto, fight's still happening. I don't know what you know of it.
I know nothing. I just know Sasuke and Naruto are fighting.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what's happening at the moment. We've seen some cool attacks, or we saw a cool attack today. And it looks like we're actually close to the end of the fight.
Well, that's the thing. That is, what I heard is they're actually handling it quite well.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's not that much in the way of fighting. And it's been very quick. But you saw Sasuke use an all-out attack on Naruto, which used up all his chakra. And then we saw Naruto do the exact same thing. And then we saw a little bit of a wink today. We saw a little wink at old school Naruto.
Yeah.
If you remember back in the Chunin exams, Naruto used the Shadow Clone Jutsu to punch the person up in the air so he could do what Sasuke does, where he'd punch them up in the air, jump behind them, and then smash them into the ground.
Well, it was Rock Lee's move originally. They hit a lotus,
Naruto did that to Sasuke.
I love that. What does he call it? It's like 1000 Naruto Uzumaki Barrage or something. Uzumaki Barrage, that's what it's called. Yeah.
But it was like 3 Shadow Clones.
And they keep kicking him up, don't they, or something?
It was only like one punch
up
in the air and then smashed down.
Yeah.
Today. So it was only a small Uzumaki Barrage, but it was so cool to see.
Yeah.
And then we saw something also that we haven't seen in a very long time with Sasuke. Do you remember how he used to have like a summoning
on his
thing,
arm,
like 10-10?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he could pull out ninja stars. You saw him do that as he was falling to the ground. He just like quickly got the ninja stars out.
Go.
Stabbed him.
Speaking of 10-10, what? She just appeared out of nowhere in the recent episode. That's all I'm gonna say. Is she came out of nowhere.
We'll be on to that in a second because I have things to say about that. But yeah, so we saw that. We saw Sakura again being kind of wedged into the chapter.
Come on, gotta push Sakura in because some people like her.
Like, if you read what the Manga Panda fan base was saying in the comments today in Facebook, it was so funny. Everyone was just like, fuck Sakura. There's no need point. Either they're saying fuck Sakura, or they're saying Sakura's going to do. She's going to save Naruto.
I don't know. I'm really looking forward to when the anime catches up with the manga because I don't want to read it. I will read it once it finishes. I will read it from start to finish and quickly because it's shonen and you can read shonen. I can read a volume of shonen in about 20 minutes because there's no writing. Like if I show you like an average page of Bakuman, there's so much text on it. Like if I just show you those pages, look how much text there is.
Yeah, I know, right? I know what you're talking about, but it's you look at it and today's ending, I was pissed off with.
What the episode?
Yeah, no, like the manga. I sat there and I was like, I need to know. I need to freaking know.
The episode was kind of the same as well. Watching this episode, I was like, need to know more. I want to watch more. Give me more.
Well, what happened was like the ending to the manga. We saw Sasuke above Naruto after stealing some of the chakra from Naruto. Because Rinnegan has a new power. Rinnegan allows you to steal chakra. Somehow.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm so confused. But anyway.
Yeah, like, both of them expended all their chakra. And Kurama was meditating and just, like, forced a little bit of chakra into Naruto.
That's a point I'm going to say. I thought the Rinnegan was supposed to be, like, the ultimate thing, right?
It is.
But I swear they said something about if you have the Rinnegan, you can use all jutsus or something like that. But you have to learn the jutsu. So you have to learn it, but once you learn how to do it, you can do it. But it doesn't matter what element you are, because like Naruto's wind, isn't he? Whereas
Sasuke's fire.
Fire and lightning. So something about the Rinnegan makes it so you can execute all jutsus, but you don't instantly know all jutsus. Cool.
Yeah. It's one of these things, no one has been able to unlock its full potential apart from Kaguya, who I think you've heard of now.
Yeah. My mind went blank for a second. I couldn't think of what you were talking about.
Well, Kaguya learnt them all, and then things have happened, and anyone that has the Rinnegan is having issues trying to learn the way to use the Rinnegan to its full potential. So Sasuke learnt today that he can like consume chakra off somebody by touching them. Yeah,
but no, I don't know. There's something about reading shonen I just don't enjoy.
Well, we saw a Chidori today above Naruto's head as Sasuke turns and like just standing above Naruto. Naruto's on the floor because they lost all chakra. They didn't have enough chakra to do any attacks left, so they were just punching each other. Pummeling each other.
That's the way I enjoy the fights the most. I love taijutsu fights where it's just fist to fist fighting.
Like, there's a taijutsu that we see with like Rock Lee and that lot, but this wasn't. This was just they were so knackered that they were like hunched over, punching each other, and then one would be on the floor as the other one just like pummeled into the face, and then. That was how it looked, and it was so cool to see.
That is cool. I really like really grotty fights like that.
And then we just saw Naruto laying on the floor as Sasuke had consumed the chakra that Kurama had given to Naruto.
Yeah.
And he had enough for a Chidori, and you're just like, oh shit, we're seeing Sasuke. He's going to kill Naruto, but everyone turns around and is like. Sakura's gonna save him.
But so it sounds like the Naruto manga is actually going well at the moment.
Yeah,
and so we recently got some news that Naruto, while it's going to end, it's not going to end. They plan on ending it with a sufficient ending, he said. So, an ending that means we actually can look at it and say, that's the ending. But he plans on creating more
Dragon Ball's
GT almost, where it's extra that you enjoy, basically.
Yeah, if you want to know what happens at the end,
yeah,
you can see what happens, and you can see, is Naruto going to be Hokage? And if he is Hokage, is Sasuke going to be nice? Which was something that I really liked about today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Shikamaru turned around like,
yeah, man,
second Hokage type thing.
Yeah, everything that happened. Everything that happened in this episode involving Shikamaru, I was like, I love this guy.
And it was actually a piece of filler that I really liked.
Oh, what, did it not happen in the manga?
No. Like, Shikamaru was fine.
A lot of people have said that the anime is doing the war better than the manga.
Like, it is and it isn't. I quite like the way that it was done in the manga, but there's parts that I really liked. Didn't particularly like the fact that, Shikamaru got caught and he was, like, fighting for his life.
Especially because they didn't show him getting caught, if that makes sense. They never showed him getting caught. It showed him jumping away and being okay, and then the next episode he was hurt. I was a bit confused by that, but I just took it with a grain of salt.
But I don't know if this was something that I was sat there thinking last week. Was there 2 episodes or something? Because it felt like it.
No, there wasn't, but it did feel like it, you're right.
But yeah, so we saw Shikamaru get up and be like, sorry, Dad, I can't come be with you because I've got to help Naruto.
Yeah, I've got to help this numbskull Naruto. I really fucking like that.
I was like, yes, Shikamaru.
And,
but so good.
I've often said I'm not a fan of the big monsters fighting or big fighting, if that makes sense. Like, you know, the I can't even think what the move's called now. It's the one that the Uchihas do where they have all the armor and shit.
Sasuno.
Yeah, Susanoo. I never liked the Susanoo because it's big and it just reminds me of like mech fighting where it's like big slow moves and projectile moves. I really, really enjoyed like the Kakashi versus Obito fight where they literally were fighting fist to fist.
You see it as like a ninja.
A ninja fight, yeah. I really enjoy fighting like that. And that's why I think I enjoy shows like... I'm not even going to be able to think of it. But shows where the fighting is shown like a proper fight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, where it's choppy. I liked that. But I can also see the whole... It's kind of cool. We kind of got like a choppy fight with the big. Yeah. Today, the whole Naruto in Ninetales form smashing freaking Obito.
The Ninetales form is cool as fuck. It looks so cool.
And then we saw Obito
punch shit
we hadn't actually seen in the manga.
What, where he grabbed them and was like...
Yeah, like the whole... Yeah. Because it's a really cool looking form.
Yeah, and he like slams them through the wall. I forgot that Jugo and Sasuke were together inside Susanoo. Yeah. I forgot about that until he appeared again. I was like, oh.
Sort of Sasuke actually look okay for once.
What, you mean animation-wise?
No, like how he just kind of stands next to Naruto as like a comrade.
Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Like,
oh my god, there was one point that made me laugh so bad. So I'm watching it on Crunchyroll, and you can watch it in 1080, and it looks really nice. And the bit where the Kage come back, and Tsunade puts her hand on Shikamaru's head and heals him, and then she puts her hand on Sakura's head, and Sakura looks up to her, and they drew her so weird looking. Her eye was huge, and her nose was massive. I was like, "Whoa, what went on there?"
Because you also noticed there was something in it. I don't know whether or not it was my where I watch it, which I watch on Naruto Get.
Yes.
But Tsunade's eyes, as the 5 Kage all lined up, looked as if she was reanimated.
Yeah, no, it's because they're trying to draw her as looking really tired, if that makes sense. So they've been drawing like the lines underneath her eyes really dark, and what's happened is they've ended up drawing her actual eyes really dark as well. It's really weird.
It wasn't just me then that thought
No,
that she
no.
did like a
Yeah.
reanimated Tsunade.
No, it's because you know she basically got cut in half by Madara.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it look like she's been cut in half by Madara, basically. But that reminds me actually, watching Gasaraki. So there are certain moments in the show where the animation is so stilted. So there's a moment where the guy's pupil in his right eye is in the middle, but his pupil in his left eye is on the edge. And just watching things like that, I just can't take it seriously. I'm like, nothing you say right now I can take seriously. And one thing that Gasaraki does is when somebody, there are lots of scenes where nothing is moving other than their mouth. There will be scenery in the background. There will be the 4 characters on screen, but the only part of the whole screen that moves is the character's mouth. And it looks so shit. I hate it when shows do that.
Oh. Another thing that I quite liked today was the whole who was it? Orochimaru, Sarutobi.
Yeah.
Like little chat, which was so cool.
When he was like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind doing this. Sounds fun."
No, it's like the whole. It's not my fight, but if it means that I'm gonna have my laboratory destroyed,
Yeah.
I might as well fucking join in.
Yeah. And then that bit where he was just like, the tree was coming towards him, he's like, "Snakes, go!" I was like, that was cool. I can understand though why it didn't drain his chakra at all. I guess it's because they're summoned and it's not his chakra, but I don't know.
It's confused. It's Orochimaru.
It's Naruto. We don't need to care how things happen as long as things explode.
And then we saw the change in the roots, which was so damn cool.
Well, when they changed to like dragons.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking cool.
To make it look more like a Hashirama attack.
Yeah. Well, that's basically, in theory, it's part of Hashiram, because it's a wood-style jutsu, in theory.
Yeah, Mokuton. But we had that. Then, shall we get on to Tenten?
Yeah, what... I swear they just brought her in just to say, by the way, she exists. I swear, like, they watched our videos, like, we forgot Tenten. Oh my god, Tenten's not been in it for 100 episodes. Here she is. I actually watched a video the other day of her last appearance in the show.
Yeah.
And it's Gaara gives a speech, and then she's like, "Yeah, let's go," and that's the last time we see her in 100 episodes. Like 100 episodes.
Like a fight, isn't she?
No, sorry, she was. She fought the 2 people that had been inside the Ninetales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Darai.
Genkaku.
Yeah, with Darai and we haven't seen him in ages either. We've not seen so many of the people from the Cloud
Where's
Village.
the fan?
What, Tamari?
No, like the fan that Genkaku and Shikaku or whatever his name is. The one, right? Tenten has to use something to attack them to like seal them back up.
Oh, I can't even
that's
think.
it. Like I think it's a fan that she has to use, but it drains like all of her chakra.
Yeah, she got told not to use it again though. Who did she get told?
Where is it?
I think she gave it to somebody else. I remember her when she used it and it drained all her chakra, and that was the only time in the series she's been useful. And yeah, they told her not to use it again.
I want to see that freaking lightning dance again.
I want to see anything with the what's the Thunder Kage called? I can't think now.
Damn it! I know who you mean. Raikage.
Yeah, the Raikage. I want to see the Raikage fight again because he was one of my favourite characters.
I think it translates roughly as lightning shadow.
It will either be that or Cloud Shadow. It'll be one of the two.
Yeah, because for Hokage it's fire shadow.
It's either Fire Shadow or Ash Shadow. It's one of those two. I can't remember.
It's fire.
Yeah. But no, I felt the last episode of Naruto was good. I literally finished watching it about 30 minutes before we started.
It was so good. Like, I actually
really good.
really enjoyed it. And what do you think about next week? Did you see the little
Mm-hmm.
thing next week?
It looked like the next episode was pretty much all fighting, which I'd expect because we're in the middle of a war. But it looked good. It looked. So
What do you think of the Ninetales form?
The Ninetales form was being protected by the Susanoo. That sounds so cool.
We saw it on full Ninetales. Toby used it.
Yeah. No. Yes, he did. Did you watch?
I'm kind of calling Toby because Toby was so cool.
Have you ever played?
Garrett.
Have you ever played any of the Naruto games?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you ever use Toby on that game, he's really, really hard to use. But if you know how to use him, he's such a boss because he goes underneath the ground and everything, and he's really hard to hit. And he runs really fast for some reason.
And the fact that he can get rid of projectiles against him and stuff like that. It's really...
But it's only if you know how to use him. He's one of the harder characters to use. Like, anyone that's like not very good at the game will just use Neji or Lee or Hinata. Somebody that has really fast attacks because they're so easy to use.
I quite liked using Itachi. Itachi was fun, so was Sasuke.
I fucking hated playing against Itachi because people would just use the clade clone jutsu thing and it would walk towards you and explode. I would come up against a person using Itachi 6 times in a row and all they would do would send out a clone, fucking charge their chakra and do it again and again and again and you can't get close to them. It's so fucking annoying.
It's the same with, I think it was in Ultimate Ninja Storm 3.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah. Like, you could just use crows. Send out crows. Send out
Yeah,
crows.
and they just hit you and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
There are certain characters in that game that are so...
Just,
If you come up against a guy that's good at the game and he uses Neji, Rock Lee, and say Hinata, or what's the bone guy called? I can't think of what his name is.
I know who you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, if they use those 3 and they're good at the game, they're so hard to beat because they're just ridiculously fast and their combos together are so good.
But it's difficult. When are we going to see Lee use his drunken fist again?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing more fighting, though. Like, I felt the last couple of episodes, they've tried not to just have 100% fighting, which they could easily do. They could easily just be like, the next 6 episodes are going to be so quick-paced, because they don't have a fear of catching up anymore.
No, not really.
They could literally do a chapter an episode. They could literally do a chapter an episode.
I love the Ten Tails form. Ten Tails Jinchuriki form looks really good.
You know what? I don't.
No, the way that it just is. It's so good.
I like the way it
how
looks.
How he changes. He goes, alright, time to change to more of an attacking form. Instead of being in this defensive one where he has the Tomes behind him. Yeah. It's just like, I'm gonna fuck you up either way that I do this.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't that grey colour though. I wish it was more of a bluey purple colour.
But I'd rather that the Renegan was in a purple colour.
That's what I mean, same colour as the Renegan. Well, the colour that the Renegan used to be when Pain had it.
Which was the good days.
Yeah.
They seem to go wrong with the Renegan.
Although they've stepped up their game on the Sharingan. The Sharingan looks so much more red now.
Also, they've stepped up the game on Sasuke.
He looks a lot better. I swear Kishimoto used to have a really bad...
actually figured out what he needs to look like.
Yeah. So many times I would watch him and his face would be short, if that makes sense, and squished. Yeah. And it's like, no, he's supposed to have a long, skinny face.
He's supposed to be long and skinny in general.
Yeah. He's supposed to have long arms. I don't know why, I just feel like Sasuke should have long arms. Not like stretchy long arms, but his arms should be...
Armstrong.
His arms should be longer than Naruto's, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think he should be taller than Naruto.
like, because at points you've seen him and he looks really stocky, slightly fat.
He shouldn't be. He looks especially with that gi he wears.
Yeah.
It's too big. It looks bulky. It makes him look bulky when it should look like it's big on him, not he's big.
Or just make him look slender. 'Cause he's a slender character.
Like
As much as I fucking hate that guy, drop him correctly.
That's kind of like a rule of shonen. Is the bad guy has to look better than the good guy. It's kind of a shonen rule.
But like Naruto's looking really good at the moment.
Gay.
I don't care. I'm not the one that watches fucking Free, mate.
Oh, shut up, man. Free's where it's at. The funny thing is, my favourite characters in Free are the girls. So there's the main character's teacher. She's one of my favourite characters. I don't know if you ever plan on watching it, so it's not really a spoiler. But she used to be a swimwear model before she was a teacher, and everyone's like, "I know I've seen you from somewhere. Where is it I've seen you?" And she's like, nope, you've never seen me anywhere. And then one day they knock over like a magazine and they see her laying there in a swimsuit. And they're like, oh, "That's where I know you from." And every time when they go to the beach, they're like, "Here, put this swimsuit on." And she's like, nope, because she realizes everyone would recognize her.
Uh-huh.
And then
right, shall we move on to One Piece?
Yeah, talk. Do you want? Well,
Keep this pace up.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to quickly go through Bleach and then move on to One Piece?
Do Bleach first.
We have a shit sandwich, pretty much.
Yeah, more
right.
or less.
Bleach was really cool. We're seeing the Zero Division actually fighting at the moment, as I said, and we're seeing how good Zero Division is. And they have one of the coolest guys in Zero Division. The guy that does the Zanpakuto, he's black. And they've actually made him stereotypically black. He has an afro, which is also a mohawk.
Well, he's got like an afro mohawk.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And he says yo a lot. And is it very street? Kind of.
Well, he uses like slang
also
a lot.
being kind of a bit 70s.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. I like the sound of that.
And instead of wearing like the usual outfit that they wear, the usual like kimono type thing,
yeah,
he wears a body warmer.
What, like his sleeveless body
Zero
warmer?
Division. Yeah, with his like Zero Division symbol on the back, and it's like, ah.
I've always enjoyed that when a character one of the most important things to me in manga and anime is a character that looks cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they don't have to look badass; they just have to be a character design that I like. Going back to Baccano, Takagi, or Shujin as he's often called in the show, I really like the way he looks, and I don't know why. Just something about that makes me like the character just because he looks cool.
Yeah.
Appearance is really important to me in a show.
And there was a thing, like, when you saw this guy come in, he was wearing this tank on the back of his thing.
He was wearing a tank?
A
turret?
No, like a tank of water.
Oh!
With a Zanpakuto in them.
A tankard, yeah.
Like a fish tank, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
On his back.
That sounds cool.
And he just plants it down. And he grabs his Zanpakuto. And everything that it touches, it just goes through it.
Yeah.
Like, he gets rid of every single one of what are classed as the All-Stars.
What, like the top of the top, basically?
Yeah, like the elite guard.
Yeah.
He just goes like that, slices through them all, and it's so hot, apparently, because it's a brand new sword.
Yeah.
And he says, this has no sheath. He's like, oh, is that why you use the tank as your sheath? It's like, no, it's full of jelly to try and keep it stable, because it's that sharp, this sword.
Nice. I like the sound of that. That's one of my... So, have you got a certain type of character that you really like?
As long as, like, I found characters that I genuinely start to enjoy. I found another one in One Piece, actually.
For who's that?
Corazon. Corazon's so freaking baller.
I don't know who that is. I don't think we've met him in the anime, so I don't know.
Doflamingo's brother.
Yeah, we've not met him in the anime. Uh,
It's so cool.
we've
I'll
we've
get onto that in a minute.
we've met somebody in the anime. I can't think what his name is, but he wears a bib and a pacifier.
Baby, I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite characters. He is a badass. He is so cool. There's a moment where a girl is like, "Oh, we love you," whatever his name is, and he's like, "Shut up, bitch," and just rips her bra off. I was like, that guy's fucking cool.
Oh, I'll just quickly gloss over Bleach quickly.
Yeah.
All the elite guard is dead apart from 2 people.
Okay.
One's Ishida, and the other one is this guy who was like second in command, and then he got told when Ishida joined them that Ishida was above him, like straight away. Like the fuck.
Bleach is confusing because the anime to Bleach has stopped, I think. And
No, it restarted again.
I don't know, but the dub is almost caught up to where the sub is, and the manga stopped as well at one point, and then carried on. It's like I don't even know anymore. I'm just gonna read and watch it and just hope I enjoy it. Really,
Just read it. I don't know what it was. I tried watching it and there
Bleach
was
is.
something about that animation.
I like the old animation. I don't like the new one.
I just couldn't get on with it, so I just turned around and was like, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, but one thing I will say about Bleach is it's really cheap to buy. You can buy the first 50 episodes of Bleach for 15 quid.
That's not bad.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. That's like the best deal you can get on anime. But then you buy the first DVD box set, which is those first 50 episodes, and then the next box set you have to buy is all filler.
Then just miss out on the filler.
The thing is, I couldn't just buy season 1 and then season 3 because it would piss me off looking at it on a shelf.
Yeah. But anyway, worries are still there on whether or not Bleach is actually going to end.
I don't know.
Because we're now nearly in November.
Oh yeah, because they said they were going to end, didn't they?
Yeah, it's supposed to end this year.
Oh, fuck knows. They're not going to ever end that shit. Too much money. It makes too much money to stop
We
it.
haven't even had like a... It's going to finish this week.
Yeah.
We had with Naruto 6 weeks notice.
They basically said, we're going to finish on this day. This volume of Shonen is when we're going to finish. That's how they did it.
They were just like, get ready.
Prepare yourself.
With Bleach, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll end one day when like the story just dies and we have nothing left to write.
It felt like that the other week. Right, anyway, on to One Piece.
Yeah. Don't spoil anything for me.
No, I'm not going to. Manga, Corazon is a baller. As per usual, Sengoku is a baller.
Yeah.
Garp is a baller.
See, none of those have appeared in the anime. But I mentioned something 2 weeks ago to you.
2 of those have appeared in the anime.
Oh, no, I mean recently. They've not appeared in this arc. We've not seen them. But one thing I mentioned to you the other day, and you said that's not happened in the manga, was Big Mama coming to the island.
I can't remember her being on the island, no.
Yeah, but you would have thought you'd have heard of her recently. So at the moment, Sanji, Brook, Chopper, Nami, and Momonosuke are on the ship, and Big Mama's ship is coming towards theirs. So there's 2 ships coming towards each other, and Sanji was on the phone to Frankie and Luffy and said, "Can I fight Big Mama?" And Luffy's like, "Yeah, go all out." Which is stupid because Big Mama will destroy Sanji.
I wouldn't be so sure. Like, Sanji's second mate, isn't he?
Third behind Zoro.
Yeah, no, second mate.
Oh, sorry.
There's captain, first mate, second mate.
Sorry, yeah. But I still think Big Mama would fuck him up. She's a Yonko. And even even Doflamingo was scared of Big Mama, and
Jinbei.
Doflamingo beat the shit out of Sanji. He nearly killed Sanji. He would have killed him.
See, the last thing that I remember of the whole Nami moment, Nosuke and all that lot, was the weird woman with the painting.
Yeah, that finished fairly recently.
So, I'm going to paint you into weird
She was
Art Deco shit.
That stuff was so boring.
And that was the last thing that we saw of that. And then, as I said, at the moment, we've got flashback on Trafalgar Law and Corazon.
Yeah, we've not seen any of that in the anime.
Which is so cool. He's so fucking cool.
So, that's a point. So,
imagine Doflamingo, right?
Yeah.
But with long hair, like with a, like a dappy hat?
Yeah.
Without the bobble on the top, with like the two flaps.
Okay.
Coming down, and it's just pure black, and it comes down. And at the end of it is the spade.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And
yeah, because they all have
jacket, his jacket looks like Doflamingo's, but it's black with spades.
That sounds so much cool. That sounds so fucking cool.
He's got like a freaking jester's smile on, which is black as well.
That sounds he actually does sound really cool. So I'll explain where we are in the anime right now. So basically what happened in the last episode, the first or the fourth section of the first round of the tournament has just finished. So what's the big titted pink haired girl called?
Oh, I know who you mean.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Yeah.
She just won the fourth round or the fourth fight of the first round.
Yeah.
So, but she only won it because that other guy, can't think of what his name was, turned into some guy when he's asleep and beat everyone. I don't know where that came from. It was just like thrown in there, like, here you go, this guy's actually cool. But that's basically where we're up to. And now the second round is going to start, and Sabo's there to fight.
Yeah. It's crazy. Sabo is so cool.
He is. And he still has his little L bar thing. You know, he used to fight with a pipe, he still uses it.
Yep, I know.
That's so cool.
You see things.
But yeah, if we use that to move off of the popular manga at the moment.
Yep.
So our next topic is... well, we already kind of talked about the fact you bought Clanad After Story. But if you want to...
so we don't really need to...
Yeah, you bought Clanad After Story. You're watching it even though you've already watched it. But
it's good.
I don't know if it's just me. I enjoy watching things when I own them more than if I stream them.
Oh, yeah.
Something about it.
It's nice. It's a nice thing to own.
Yeah.
I like it. The box set looks nice. The whole works.
The box set does look nice. I own both of them, but I was gutted that they're as small as they are. I wanted it to be like a really big box set.
Yeah.
I really like big box sets. But yeah, so we wanted to make this a fairly short one because we're both kind of busy. Oops.
Yeah. I can say with the reasons why I'm busy.
Well, we're why are you busy?
Well, at the moment, WoW's coming to the final bits on its Mr. Pandaria expansion.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had the patch just before Warlords of Draenor drops. It's what is classed as the 6.0 patch.
Yeah.
We had it for 5.0, 4.0, things like that.
Yeah.
This is where we actually get the main parts of the next expansion. So, like, the precursor to the expansion. For Wrath of the Lich King, which was all based around, there's this one guy who's controls all the undead.
Yeah.
All the Scourge. And Stormwind, which is one of the capitals, got overrun by undead and attacked. And people actually turned into undead in the game. We had things like that. For Cataclysm, the actual world, the old game world, vanilla world, got changed and a whole new revamp.
Oh, cool. That actually does sound pretty cool.
And like we saw fiery pits of hell appear. And for 6.0 we've seen the graphics update,
Oh,
and all new things just like appearing. Item squish, abilities being taken out, the whole works. Pretty much the game's there. All we're waiting for is to just go through the portal now.
so the point .0 patches are the biggest ones then.
Oh yeah, it was a 2 gig patch.
Well, that's pretty big. Because
Yeah.
you have to pay for every patch, don't you?
No.
Not sorry, you don't pay for the patch, you pay for the expansion packs, don't you?
Yeah, you pay for the expansion packs and you pay a subscription fee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was crazy.
Yeah. So as we're quickly speaking about MMOs, I want to quickly talk about Black Desert, if that's cool.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, so Black Desert's a Korean MMO that I'm really interested in. I've never been into MMOs, but Black Desert's a free-to-play one. Apparently there's a lot of mini transactions and stuff, but you can play it without it. The thing that has made me want it is how nice it looks. That's the only reason. The graphics.
I have a worry with it automatically.
What, in not being able to handle it?
No. My PC will handle that shit. Don't worry about that. My PC will slap that thing. My worry is with that is the microtransactions.
Oh yeah.
What the microtransaction actually will involve.
Yeah. But it's free to play, so you're not paying monthly. So if you're somebody that wants an MMO, but you want a really nice looking one.
I've seen it before. We had it with Lotro. That went free to play. You got the first bit of the game.
Yeah.
But if you wanted any of the quests, any actual major things, you had to pay for it. And it was pay to win. We've seen it with a lot of different things. So that's my worry.
Yeah. To be fair though, did you watch any of the character creation videos?
No.
Right. When we finish this show, quickly just nip on the internet and look at the character creation videos. You can literally edit flex in your eyes.
That's cool.
You can edit the character to such a detail that it's insane. And it's free to play. I would sit there and just design characters all day long.
As I say, my worry is that it's going to be...
You have to pay to just do anything, yeah.
And if you pay for it, then you get some kind of amazing stuff.
You're instantly better than anyone that doesn't, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in it. As I said, it's free to play, so if it does suck, you can just stop playing it. There's nothing you can lose by playing it, if that makes sense. But it requires, I think, a 660, a GTX 660. I don't know what that translates to AMD, to play it on recommended, so average settings.
I wouldn't know.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about AMD.
I don't go with AMD for graphics cards.
No. But I'm super interested in playing it. It's in beta at the moment, so I'm applying for a beta code. And apparently they're quite willing to give them out, so it's okay. But I just want to create a character. I want to create 100 characters because it looks so nice. I've not seen many videos.
See how things are going to be.
Yeah, it could be shit. It could have a really cool character creation, and that's it. But no, I'm interested in it. It looks like it has a really cool fighting system, which is a big deal to me, because that's one thing I've not enjoyed about a lot of MMOs, is I wasn't a fan of the way the fighting works.
Yeah.
But this is fairly simple. Similar to how games work, where you click on the attack you want and then you click who you want to attack, kind of thing. They could counter it by bringing up a shield or whatever. But it looks interesting to me. It's all in Korean, that's one thing, so you can't really read what it says on the screen.
Yeah.
Because it's still in beta, it's all in Korean. But it looks so nice. I just want to create a character. That's all I want.
We'll see how things go, and we'll definitely have some kind of information on what we think of it in the end.
Well, I will be playing it definitely. I don't care. So I'm getting my 970 soon, so I'm sure I can handle it. But seeing as we're talking about gaming, we'll talk about what we usually do to wrap up our show. Do you want to talk about how the League of Legends tournament finished? Or
Okay, so League of Legends finished last week.
yeah, but we missed the
We
show.
had the major things. I've watched everything. So the last time we were actually on, we saw the semi-finals happen.
Yeah.
Samsung White beat their sister team on a 3-0 in a best of 5.
Really, they whitewashed them.
Yeah, which is like not heard of, especially as Samsung Blue usually beat Samsung White.
Mm. You said Samsung Blue though. You said they would win it.
Samsung White went through to the final.
Yeah.
So we had that. Then we saw Starhorn Royal Club versus their big like contender in China,
Yeah.
which is OMG. Now a little bit of backstory on this one actually. OMG last year was also in the World Championship with Royal Club again. Royal Club had a bye straight through to the quarterfinals, in which, in the quarterfinals, they won against Fnatic, I think it was. No, they won against their team and went straight through to the semi-finals. And in the semi-finals, we saw Starhorn Royal Club versus... Give me a second.
That hat is so funny. I just looked at it as you turned around. That hat is hilarious.
But yeah, so we saw Starhorn Royal Club versus the their like main contender OMG.
Yeah.
And last year, same thing happened. OMG got beaten by Starhorn Royal Club. Starhorn went straight through, but they were classed as Royal Club back then.
Yeah.
They went through to the finals. This year, OMG was looking to beat Royal Club to go through to the finals. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. They lost. It went to 3-2 in the end. It was really close matches. And we finally got Starhorn Royal Club versus Samsung White in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to tell you, Royal Club had difficulty getting to where they were compared to that of White.
Yeah.
White won every single match in their group stages, went 6-0.
Yeah.
Beat TSM 3-1, so they only lost one game against TSM, and then they beat their Korean rival.
Completely.
So
they didn't lose a single game.
They lost only one game in the whole entire
tournament.
I think it was 12-1.
Yeah, that's insane when you think about it.
Yeah, compared to Royal Club, which fought for their spot. And so what happened was we saw Royal Club step forward, look as if they were going to try, but once again, this is White, and White it was going to happen. White was going to win.
Mm.
We saw first 2 matches, whitewash, 2-0, White was destroying them.
Yeah.
Royal Club didn't even look as if they were even going to contend. Unfortunately, White did the same thing that they did in the quarterfinals against TSM. They got cocky.
Started to slip.
They played a really bad comp, which just had no wave clear, didn't really work out properly, and gave Royal Club their best champions. Now, the reason why this was, in my opinion, was if Royal Club won, it didn't matter. There were still 2 more matches. White could win them.
Yeah.
Beat them there. And if White lost to them, that just would show you how dominant White really is against Royal Club. If they could hand them a really, really good team comp and have a really bad team comp themselves,
and
beat
still win
the other team on their best player, best champions. It would have demoralized them completely and just made them cry. Uzi, who was like AD carry for Royal Club, is the only player to have got through to 2 World Finals, and the only player to get through to 2 World Finals in a row as well.
So he made it to last year's final.
Yeah, and he lost last year's final to a Korean team. So this year he was like, "Got to do it," and it came down to it. 4th match after Royal Club beat like White, but the thing was like it wasn't a trounce.
Yeah, so they
close match.
They struggled against Samsung White's weak team, basically. That just shows dominance. Like, if we translate that over to football, that's like if Man United pitched their worst team against the shit team like Newcastle, and they only just beat them. I'm sorry. I mean QPR.
Right, anyway, so we saw that, but then it came out to game 4, and there was a change in White. It looked as if Royal Club had poked a bear with a big stick. And it really pissed off this bear. So Royal Club came out for the jugular and ripped. No, White ripped Royal Club's jugular completely, shutting down every single lane and just not allowing Royal Club any space.
They just dominated them.
Boards were everywhere. There was the vision that Royal Club had was gone.
Yeah.
They were choked. And it ended, I think it was the quickest match in Worlds.
Really? How long was it?
I think it was something like 24 minutes.
See, that sounds so long, but it's not. That's short.
That's really short. And we saw something that there was something about White that just said, we're not here to mess about. We lost last year when we came to Worlds. We didn't get out of group stages. This time we're actually here and we're going to dominate.
And they did.
They did. They won the World Championship. And while they were celebrating, Imagine Dragons came onto the stage.
Really?
And did their concert. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, Imagine Dragons did the World Championship song.
Yeah.
And then they did all the big songs like Radioactive was all played as well.
That's really cool. So, Imagine Dragons are a pretty big band.
Yeah.
And I think that shows the level that EA Games are at now. That they're having... I don't know whether to say a world-class band, but they're definitely up there. They're not my favourite band, not by any stretch of the imagination, but they're pretty fucking good. And to be playing for some Korean gaming tournament is pretty intense.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way to you. The World Stadium for... Seoul's World Stadium, like World Cup Stadium, can seat 66,000, nearly 67,000 people.
Yeah.
In there. It was full.
Let me just put that into like perspective. NBA, right? National Basketball Association is one of the biggest sports in America. No stadium seats that many people in an NBA game.
Well, let's put it a different way, right? You look at how many seats can be are at Wembley.
It's 90,000, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's a better example. Old Trafford, right? Old Trafford is, I think, the biggest club stadium in England.
It's either that or it's Emirates.
Emirates. It's one of those two, and it's about 75,000. So that's 10,000 difference. That's the biggest in England for clubs. That's fucking huge. And that's to watch people like they're sat here like I currently am, just at a desk basically playing a game. It's so insane.
it was massive, and it was so cool
It's
looking.
so insane.
What they did was one of the like seating areas
Mm.
was actually like blocked off because that's where the stadium was put,
Yeah.
so it was facing the other way. But the whole entire pitch then had seats on it.
Mm.
So whatever seats were missing on the,
From there, we're being taken up anyway. Yeah.
and there was probably actually more. I'm actually trying to figure out how many people
Seats.
there
Yeah.
was.
That's insane though.
40,000 people were
Yeah.
there.
So that's the same size as Stamford Bridge,
Yeah,
Chelsea Stadium. If you don't know who that is.
and
But
in total, the amount of people that watched it, have a guess how many people watched it online?
is this streaming it as well? God,
Yeah.
it's got to be a lot. I do not know. It's how many?
Uh, 32 million.
It's the most watched game on Twitch, League of Legends.
Yeah, no, like 32 million people tuned in to watch it, excluding how many people like then watched it on YouTube.
The next day on YouTube, yeah, or are currently watching it now and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, they could probably add another 2-3
Like,
million onto that.
while you're doing that, so we saw that, and we saw Imagine Dragons. Actually, apparently, Imagine Dragons like League of Legends. They play it
Yeah, I wouldn't
themselves.
be surprised. That's that. If I like, I would imagine they probably got paid a decent amount of money. I'm not sure how much. Obviously, I would never know. But the reason they're doing it is because they enjoy the game, or they enjoy the product at least.
Yeah. Well, to tell you, throughout the World Finals, right? The all the games, I've got them all here. Okay. So for game one, 560. No, sorry, 506,000 views on YouTube 4 days ago. That is
Mm-hmm.
319 for game two, 352 for game three, and 483 for game four.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, if you actually look at how many people watched the whole entire World Final, like the big nearly 7 hour video,
Yeah,
1,837,382 views.
yeah. And the only people that are watching that are the people that haven't already watched it. So,
Yeah.
but
So you got to add another. So that's 33, nearly 34 million people watching.
yeah, and then there's another, as you said, 50,000 people actually there watching it. So,
Yeah. It's
but
a hell of a lot.
yeah, it's incredibly popular. That's like on the level of major sports shows. But I think that's coming close to where we'll wrap the show up. But one last topic: are you watching The Walking Dead?
No.
You're not watching it at all. No, I watched last week's episode. I just realised like 10 minutes ago while we were talking about League of Legends that the newest episode will be out, and I need to go watch it. That's not why I'm busy. That's not why this show's not like 2 hours like usual. It's just because I have to get up early in the morning to work again.
Same here.
Yep.
And I've got a lot of things to do in WoW because we're raiding 3 nights a week at the moment, and then also doing multiple other things to try and get ready for the next expansion. And the craziest thing is, we've actually seen 2 things like that this week. We ran a guild raid through the hardest content that is out at the moment, which is Mythic 20-man Siege of Orgrimmar.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have 20 players to run through that Mythic section. We took 16,
Yeah.
with I think 4 of us being at terrible gear. I have decent gear on my hunter, but I wasn't raiding on my hunter, I was raiding on my mage.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going to be raiding on next expansion. So I was taking through someone which shouldn't be able to even do normal mode, let alone Mythic.
Yeah.
And we killed off 6 bosses, with one boss actually supposed to be a check on both DPS and a check on the amount of players that you have. We managed to kill them, and we only ran out of time, so we couldn't carry on.
Cool.
Which is a worrying thing.
With that said, I think we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So with that all done, make sure to check out everything in the description. That's your key to knowing where we're at. Social media, Twitter, Facebook. I think Reddit for you, Mal for me. Let us know what you want to see, what you want us to talk about in the future, and hopefully we'll be back on here next week. See you later, chaps.
See ya.